give some brief shots. These are cypress trees that grow in the water or very wet, swampy areas. A lot of everybody in the south knows that tree, but you can hear the what do they call it, acadias? Can't think of the name. The insects in the trees. Pretty loud. Anyway, we're about to head out. Right up there, you see the orange hash mark. Hang on a second. Sorry for that jiggle. That means we're on the trail right there. And there it is. You see plenty of these guys on this trail out here. Can you see that? There's an enormous spider. A couple of them actually. Slightly above my head, right? There's the head level, and that's where he's hanging. You gotta watch out for him. This is my second stop. I kind of got confused on that first trail. I didn't think it was part of the actual Florida trail, so I came up the road, but now I'm looking at this map, and Iron Ridge is where I was. Now I'm at Hog Island, and I just came north, so I guess that orange trail is the Florida trail, so I don't know. FT, Florida trail. I know this is, if I go that way, that's where I'll be. I do believe it goes this way as well. It has to, because it connects up further north. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go that way and do this section today. And I'll let you know. That looks just like something else. I swear, all this stuff here reminds me of the Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's just a pristine forest. There's the car. Hopefully I'll see you back here today, otherwise I'm dead. God, that could be the last message I ever made. That sucks. Hopefully there's an additional video after this. So I thought this would be a good place to explain how the Florida trail works. I'm not sure how trails in other states work. I'm trying to keep this thing as steady as possible. I'm starting to realize doing this with this iPhone is going to be tricky, but so anyway, from back there I could see. How do you know where the trail is? Sometimes if you look through this, I mean, there could be a trail, you know, it's hard to tell where it is. If you didn't know, sometimes it's obvious. Like, I think that's obvious from where I'm standing, but not always. So the way you know is you have an orange hashtag, an orange paint blob that volunteers all over the state come out and, I mean, just like to do the Appalachian Trail and I think the Pacific Crest Trail and all the big trails. Local people who, like myself, who love hiking in the woods and all that, they volunteer their time to come out now and then and clear the trail, make sure that you can see that when you reach one orange slash here, that you should be able to look down and see another one. And I think I'm looking through the camera, but I can see it with my eyes, but I'll show you where the other one is. So if you zoom in, there's another one right there. So I know that that's the trail, and they always put it within, they look down the road as hikers and go, okay, if I'm standing here, what's the furthest point from here that I can walk without getting lost? And I need a marker at that point to show where to go next. So sometimes it's a long distance. Usually in this forest like this, it's pretty short. And sometimes you'll have two marks next to each other indicating there's a turn coming up. Because I just spent 15 minutes trying to find the trail. I got lost. Well, I didn't get lost, but I mean, I walked off the trail, missed one of these orange markers, and suddenly I'm in the woods with no trail, and it all looks like a trail. So you could literally go completely in the wrong direction in about 3 seconds. So this area here is not very isolated. There's a camping ground I just left, and it's not like I'm going to get lost, but you know, there it is right there. If you were to hike this from beginning to end, or any trail like this, the Florida Trail terminus, or the south starting point, I believe is down in the Everglades, or somewhere down towards the big cypress Everglade area, and it ends somewhere up around Pensacola. So some parts of it are actually roads, because there's not a lot of Well, there's enough, but there's not a ton of wilderness in Florida because it's all been built up, because it's all flat. And see that that's indicating, okay, I don't know what that's indicating. It's like an old one and a new one. And then there's the next one right up there. So that's just how it works. But anyway, if you were to take this trail from beginning to end, there's sections of it that are really isolated, and you could walk off the trail and, you know, you lost. So this is how they do it here, and I like that. You know, you're definitely out here in the woods. You can get hurt. You get away from people quite a bit. So if you did get injured, or a snake bite, or a broken leg, or something like that, I imagine that's very rare. But if you did, you could get into some trouble. But it's nice to know that at least the trail is very well defined, so that there's always a marker. And if you go past a couple of them and you get lost, you know, you just come back to where your last orange marker was, and that's where you're at. So anyway, I thought I'd let you guys know. I thought that was a good area to show that. Sorry about the bouncing. So I just spent about 40 minutes going, I don't know, 200 yards. This is like, literally like, if you've seen The Lord of the Rings, I keep going back to this. The spiders in the forest, they're not quite that big, almost. And they are all over this path. And you can't walk 5 feet without running into them or clearing the path so you can get past. And this is pretty creepy in here. It's got that creepy Mirkwood forest feel. Oh, sorry, dropped my camera. Probably shouldn't have read The Lord of the Rings as a little kid. It's indelibly marked on my mind. But yeah, this hasn't been very fun, actually, this part here. So many spiders. Creepy. We're getting close to the river. More spiders. Oh, you can see those over there. I gotta keep taking them down. So many of them. So I realize this is the wilderness, but man, that's really irritating. And it creeps you out too, because you're in constant fear. There's one on your neck. Actually found one crawling up my pole just a second ago, so it's not exaggerated. Hey, look at this. We're at the river. Watch, I'll find a gator. We're at the Withlacoochie River. This is backwoods swamp, man. Wow. This feels like Deliverance, the movie. If you wanted to know how it feels right now, creeped out. Wow, there's something over there in the water, and I don't know. Looks pretty big because that's a big swell going on. Could be a fish. It could be something that eats fish, which also could eat me. I think I might move on. Oh wow, what is that? Let me take a look at that. Nope, that's nothing. That's what it is. It's nothing. Anyway, man, these spider webs are strong. Really strong. All right, I'm rambling to myself here. Anyway, I think we're almost down to so-called Hog Island, because we're hitting the river, so should see the end of this nightmare hike in a moment. So I decided to, I'm exhausted, fried. Main concern I'm having right now is my feet are killing me. I just bought these new boots. Nice. La Sportiva. But they are the worst things you could wear for hiking, even though they're a very expensive hiking boot. Absolute crap. I mean, well made. They feel like you're walking in steel toe construction boots. I mean, they're the most uncomfortable thing I think I've ever worn, ever. And to put that on the road hiking is crazy. And I did it. So after spending $200 on these shoes, or close to it, I'm going to have to go buy another pair of shoes to do this, because this is just, whoa, oh, spider in the face. Sorry. I thought I was away from them, but no, they're hiding in here. There you are, you son of a... Anyway, I took the, wow, look at that. There you can see it. There you can see the bastard waiting. I took the horse path. This is a horse trail. Really just an old power line or something. An old road here for the horses rather than the hikers. But I had to get out of those woods, man. There's no way I'm going back that path. That was the worst section of road, or I mean, trail that I've gotten into. And I've been hiking all over this area now for some months. And, you know, you see those spiders all the time, but It's one every 10 minutes or so. You know, might see a couple. That was literally a spider every 5 feet. Massive spiders everywhere, high, low, crawling up my leg, crawling up the poles. Besides being creeped out, it took me probably 3 times as long to hike that as it should have, because unless you just want to run through spiders and have them all over you, you have to sit there and, oh, there goes a deer. Hopefully you saw that on the video. Ha! Awesome. I looked up and there he was running. There are so many deer around here. It's crazy. I know this is a good hunting area, I've been told, in season. I don't hunt anymore, but not that I'm against it. I think there's nothing wrong with hunting. I think, in fact, I know, little sidebar here, growing up in the Northwest, being trained as a hunter, you know, you have to go to your hunting gun school, and Forest Service has classes, and they explain to you that if hunting was not done, the deer population would get out of control, or elk or whatever, and they really do. And they start coming into farmers' lands and they start eating down all of their food supply. And that's really how nature is, you know. There's got to be checks and balances. And a lot of times, especially in areas like this, there are no more predators. I mean, there used to be a Florida panthers and black bears. Black bears are coming back. They're actually having a new hunting season for bears this year, first time in many decades, because there's too many bears now, because they stopped hunting them. And that's what happens. There has to be a balance. So I have quite the debate with those who think that you can't kill any animals. Well, no, that's not true. The animals kill each other, and they have to, or else the species will suffer. One or all of them will suffer. Eventually, even the predators will suffer and we've seen this happen in Yosemite and other case studies where they let the prey animals go, whether it's rabbits or, you know, snowshoe hare or whatever, and the wolves die out, and then there's too many snowshoe hares and they eat up all the grass, then they die off because they starve to death. So it actually, by not killing some of them, ends up damaging the species far more, sometimes wiping them out. And that's the whole purpose of a predator, you know, in the food chain. Very well designed system. So animals need to be culled, as they say, or killed, depending on, you know, the species and how many there are, and if there's too many, and so forth. So deer are one of those things. They breed like crazy, and without a predator, they have to be hunted in season, or else they'll suffer. So you can see it in the summer here. I'm talking my head off. Oh man, I can't believe where I just ended up. Oh, I didn't. Okay. We'll talk more about this later. There's Florida Cemetery up here. Actually, it's the, oh, this is it. Oh no. I didn't want to end up here. Oh boy. I'm at the back end of the National Cemetery here in Florida. And I don't know how to get back to where I need to go. And that's all it needs, more hiking. Jeez. All right, I'll talk to you later. So this is the walk back. I found my way back from the cemetery. Backtracked about a mile, found a crossroad, a little forest road, come out, cross back to, this is where I drove in this morning. I didn't film it, but this will end up back at the car eventually, but it's got to be at least 3 miles, and my feet are killing me. Never use these boots, which is really sad because I did a lot of research on them. You know, the size, they fit fine. They are just absolutely like walking on concrete with bare feet. It's just no cushion whatsoever. And it's chewing up the back of my heel already. I had to put 2 bandages on each heel as soon as I got going, because I could tell by the end of the day they would be blisters and rub raw, so I don't want that, of course. Anyway, we got a storm coming in. And this is what happens down here in Florida. It reminds me a lot of South America. south down here. I lived in Brazil for a few years, or a few months, a couple of different times, and the heat of the day builds those storms quick. So I'm gonna try to hustle back to the car on this main road because I'm not going in Spiderville. Had enough of that. It takes too long. And we'll see you back at the car, I think. So we're back in the original forest. Then this morning we left out of that gate. We're back. What a hike, man. I'll do one more video after I get to the car, but coming back into the Lord of the Rings area. So it was a good hike, although it wasn't as good as some. And you see that my timing is hopefully in time. I don't know, we'll see. I got about 10 minutes till I'm at the car, I think. And rain is starting to come down, and you hear the lightning a minutes away from it, so see you at the car. That's a good sight to see. You can see it is raining. I think you can see. We are back. So I got a little turnaround at the end there, just like I did going out. Same place, because they didn't mark it very well. But we're back. We're back at the top. Here we go. If you remember this morning, and it is raining, and it feels great. That's where we went, and I just came back here. A little bit different route, but time to go home, man. See you guys. Man, long day. See you.